Okay, so now we're going to start infilling our walls, and we could start with the inside. And so what I'm proposing is that on the front view, we would do our same model in place, and these now would now be walls. There we go. Oops, let's do it again. Model in place, walls. And let's call them inner panels. All right. So this part is pretty straightforward. So we're doing the inner panel. So we're going to go to extrusion, and well, let's set our work plane to flat. Well, actually, let's rotate. Let's set our work plane to here, actually. And let's go back there. And let's draw. So remember, we're drawing the inner parts of the wall. So we're going up to that point there. And this should actually go up this point there. And leave. Yep. And then we need to also trace out, because remember that this is our doorway here. So we need to trace around our doorway, which would actually be right around the edge. Actually, the inner edge. Doorway. Like that. And we would need to cut here and trim this up. Really that. This section here would need to come all the way to the top, and we're going to go all the way over to here. We need to trim this up. And that should be okay. We also need the inner paneling for the windows. So this goes up to here, and this actually goes up to here. Do that. And need to make a cut there and trim this up there and there. So the tree is okay. We should have something like that. And of course, the thickness of this is going to be about 25 or less than 25, about 10 or 12. There we go. We now need the inner panels for the other walls. Well, luckily for this wall, we can actually copy. If we change our work plane to something that is flat like this, we can copy this from here. That's the inside of our wall. Let's go to the top view. Let's go to the ground floor view. There we go. And we actually need to say OK and then copy it. Let's change our work plane to So what we need to do is to go into the editing place of this wall, double click, and we need to disassociate work plane, so that will allow us to copy it using this work plane to that face there. And let's go to the 3D view, and of course there is no door here, so we want to align our back view here and edit this out. So we'll delete that and delete that, trim this out, and copy this from here to there. So there like that. Like that. Let's trim this here and trim that like that and that like that. Choose OK. All right. We have those walls like that. So let's go to our side walls, and we want to now, let's finish that and create a model in place, and of course it's walls, and we are doing, let's call these inner side panels, and let's choose our work plane to be on the inside of this, that, and we're going to do an extrusion, and we're going to go from the inside here to the inside to there, probably to there. Choose OK, and of course it's going to be 12, and we're going to do the same thing here. So we're going to go to the top view, disassociate with the work plane, and copy that across to here and attach that right there. So that would give us all our internal walls. Now to get our siding, what we're going to do is we're going to draw the profile for our siding, right? Okay, this has shifted. Let's shift this back. Let's carry this forward. Let's just correct any inequalities that we see. All right, that looks correct. Now we look from here. Oh, that's actually all panels, so we need to. There we go. All right, so what we're going to do is to create our siding is to make the profile just as before. So we're going to go to modeling place, and this time for our sidings, we are going to use generic models because we may need to cut it, and generic models will give us the ability to use subtraction tools easily. So we're going to call this siding. And let's ensure that our work plane is, let's let's make it on the edge of here. And just as before, we're going to use a reference measurement for our siding. So we're going to use this dimension for our siding, right? So it's 145 by 20. We're just going to average it to 20. So we're going to choose extrusion, and we're going to just draw it out here first. So let's do 145, 20. So about it. As I was saying, if you need to prevent from switching back and forth to rivet, you can use your snip tool and snip the drawing here, save it, and when you save it, you are now able to drag it. You are now able to drag it into Revit. Oh, well, not in a 3D view, actually. So you can't drag it in a 3D view. You would have to be in your south view, and then you're able to drag it in. You can make it a little smaller. When you get it in, you might have to choose OK just to get it into the right location. You can rotate for ease of use. Actually, you're going to do the inverse of this though. But anyway. Right, so heading back to this now, you can follow this up more easily. So this is 10, like that, and this is 4. $30. This seems to be a 45-degree there. Trim that there, trim that there. Uh, 57 here. And we are going to that. All right, and that's our profile. Now in this case, we're applying it to this side, so we do need to flip it. We don't want it like that. It's okay. And we would start this profile from about here, and we would use the, well, in this case, I would use my 3D view, and I would align that edge there, and that edge there. Let's go back to that view, and let's try out our array tool and let's grab here to here and try to copy it. See how that works out. Okay. Going to copy it almost works. So let's try 25 carries me all the way up. Actually, right, there is going to be an opening up top, so I really only need maybe 18, yeah, maybe 17, thereabouts. Alright, so we come back to 3D view, and that's my siding. Okay, let's make that 18. To get the other side, good, okay, to finish this up. And let's go to the front view and the mirror. We may need to move that to the right, so let's see if it will mirror. So let's set our view to pick a plane, and we'll choose front view. And let's see. Yes, it does allow us to mirror, so we're going to mirror it like that. So it should copy on the other side, which it did. And now we want to do the front and the back. So what we're going to do is from a top view, copy of this, and we're going to rotate it 90. And we're also going to mirror it for the back. So let's look at that 3D view. Oh, it's all the way down there, that's okay. So this will be for the back. Let's do that first. Let's go to top view. So this will be for the back, and this will be the front. And what we're going to do is align here to there. And we can actually, from our side view, try to edit this a bit. So we can move this up a bit. Let's try and keep the alignment set. So this will be here, I believe. Yeah, so this is aligned to there. Yep. There we go. And from our front view now, we want to go into this and extrude that way. And let's undo that. So we want to go into here and align this edge to that face. And space duplicate. Alright. Then we may want to reduce 2, so 16. That will take us up to here. And then we need to cut out these openings. So ideally, to cut out the openings, so now to cut out the shapes, we will need to create some void forms. So we're going to go to create. Instead of extrusion, we're going to go to void forms. But you know, the only way to know the areas to cut, you're going to have to go to wireframe. And as I go to wireframe, you might notice that some of these are a little off, so any inaccuracies you notice, you want to change it at the same time. So before we go on editing that, let us create our void shape. So we're going to go to create void shapes and create void extrusion, and we want to start from this corner here. And go all the way to this corner here. So if we look at that in 3D, we also want to go to do the door, and the door goes from this corner here down to the ground, basically. Alright, and we choose OK. And if we look at that in shaded view, we see where the void shape has cut these shapes here. There's an error with this last one, so we need to correct that. There we go. Alright, so let's finish. And that is our front. Now for the back. We would need to go into this and move them into place. So this shape here, and we're going to go from here to here, and we are going to be in alignment with to this, so the base here. There we go. Slightly higher, so we may need to put one more below here to cover that section. This needs to go up one, so let's go up by 19, 20. There we go. And we're going to do the same thing with this section. We're going to create a void, so we're going to use the wireframe again. Might look a little confusing. We can always edit the void forms later in case you got it wrong. So I'm going to go here, and I'm just going to draw a random void on that side, a random void this side, so that I can go to shaded mode, which is easier to understand. And I'm going to choose OK. we need to allow this void to intersect with the shape here. We actually need to edit this, so let us do that. Side view, side line, this edge there, and go to modeling, please. Now we're going to actually edit this shape here. Editing place, and let us create those void forms again. This time, let me set my work plane, and let's get the work plane here. And let's draw those two forms here. I'm drawing them randomly. There we go. It's much better. And from this view, let's make it a bigger. So let's attach this to there. Let's attach this to there. Let's go to there. Let's go to wireframe to see this part. I'm actually tabbing through the different selections. Sometimes this might give us trouble to cut these forms. Let's see. This one is giving us trouble here. So when it's giving this kind of trouble, what we can do is just draw another void form. If I draw another void form here, and draw one here. Choose okay. Oops. Choose okay. And It is actually cuts it. So let's try and use that opportunity to cut this out of shape. There we go. And that is how we get the covering. So now we have the windows and doors left to go in.